Alright, so for today's video, we are going to be talking about Ronald Araujo, new release clause that is going to be around 65 million euros in the upcoming summer. We're also going to be speaking about Frankie de Jong, and then just quickly talk about Mikael Faye potentially going to Bayer Leverkusen, where Barcelona can generate a good amount of income. But first, before we go into that conversation, I want to answer some of the questions that I did get from Discord. So if you guys do want to skip to the Araujo conversation, everything is going to be organized on the timeline down below. But I do owe these people a few answers to their questions, which is why I'm going to put these on here first. So if you guys do have any questions, you guys can put those on the Discord group chat that I do have. There's going to be a link down there on the description box. And so whatever questions that you guys do have in terms of football, I'll be happy to answer them. So they have to be like serious questions. They can't just be like things that are off topic, right? To be serious footballing questions and nothing more, okay? This is very, very serious. So let's start with the first one. Mango Boy asked, "Yo, bro, are you reaching Unk status? You need to address the Unk allegations." All right. Bet. He's basically asking like, are you in the uncle status? Are you an uncle, right? Or how old are you? I'm 27 years old. I just turned 27 years old about a week ago from today. And so, yeah, I guess you guys can call me uncle status. I know your guys' demographics. I know who listens to me. I know that the majority of you guys are under the age of 15, 16 years old. There's a few people, which is the second biggest demographic of the people who are older than 25 years old. But yeah, apparently to you guys, I am the uncle of whatever's going on here, right? Between you and me. But honestly, I don't feel like an uncle. I don't like what I basically mean is like I don't feel old. I feel like I'm a kid for some reason. I still feel like I'm 18 or 17 years old. I don't feel like I'm 27 whatsoever. Maybe age might catch up to me when I'm 30. Who knows? I feel like age is just a myth. Age means nothing. I think that if you're young from the inside, age just does not matter. Like, bro, I'm 27 years old talking about Barcelona. This thing should have been done and finished like 4 years ago. But nah, I'm good. I'm super happy, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm a happy person every day, and I just kind of love what I do. And so I don't feel old. I feel freaking strong. You know what I'm saying? And the way that I act and who I'm surrounded with, I'm young, bro. I don't feel like I'm an uncle. But yeah, I'm 27 years old. Moving on towards another serious question coming from Mango Boy. In all seriousness, in your eyes, who do you believe is the most important player to sign as of right now in this Barca side? Good question. I think that right now Barcelona do need a more reliable striker. I know that we have talked about how we need to reinforce the left wing position because we need more depth for Rafinha, right? Because Rafinha can't be the only player that is so good on the left wing. Like, we need competition, right? I do think that right now we need more of a great striker than a great left winger. And I say that because when you look at Lewandowski's performance and you compare Rafinha's performance and you put them together, right? You can say that, okay, Rafinha is doing much better on the left wing than Lewandowski is doing on the striker position. Because when you look at the games, everything that Barcelona has been doing in terms of passing, fast forwarding play, trying to connect those 1-2s, Lamine Yamal, Gavi, Pedri, Rafinha, all of them, Casado, they do very well. Like, there is fast pace like this, right? Fast pace. But then when it gets to Lewandowski, everything just slows down. And am I going to say that this is Lewandowski's fault? No, hell no. You know, he's turning 37 years old very soon, and he is reaching that Unk status, right? You see? That is Unk status right there. He's reaching the Unk status. And we need somebody more athletic. We need somebody with more power, more hunger up there, right? Somebody who can do the 1-2s, can make those runs from behind. Somebody who is like Leao, but as a striker. And, you know, this whole thing is reminding me of when Luis Suarez said about 5 years ago that he was going to leave Barcelona because he felt like he wasn't the same anymore. He felt like he was too slow. And so that is why he made that exit. Even Iniesta, right? He said that, you know, I slowed down a little, but that little margin of me slowing down, that is enough for me to consider an exit away from Barcelona. It's because those small little margins, they really do count. They really do. And especially at the highest level of football and what Barcelona is trying to do, which is why I do say like Lewandowski, you know, like, okay, he's good, right? I'm not saying that he's trash. Like, I'm not out here trying to make a case that Lewandowski needs to go to Saudi Arabia or something like that. But for sure, Barcelona do need a much more reliable, much more hyperactive striker more than anything else. I still think that Barcelona need a left winger, but a striker is much more mandatory. Moving on towards the next question coming from Hamza Abdi. And he has asked, why doesn't Flick use La Masia kids more often as sub instead of overplaying our starting 11? Good question. I will simply just put it like this. The players in La Masia right now, they're not really good enough to be placed in our starting 11 tomorrow. And especially in these games that we are playing. We're competing very highly for the Champions, very highly for La Liga, very highly for the Copa del Rey. And am I saying that, oh, no, like La Masia should never get a chance? No, of course not. How do you think we got Kubarsi? How do you think we got Lamine Yamal? But as of right now, with the squad that we already have enough La Masia players. It is Balde, it is Lamine Yamal, it is Kubarsi, it is, who else? Fermin Lopez. There's so many players. So it's not like Hansi Flick is not using La Masia talent. We are using La Masia talent. It's just there's a thing that exists where you overuse La Masia, where you put too many youngsters. We still need to have a great mix between between the La Masia youngsters and the veteran players like Araujo, like Koundé, like Frankie de Jong, or maybe players like Lewandowski, Rafinha, right? The players who are up there over the age of 25, 26 years old. When you have that type of mix, you have the perfect team, which is the reason why Barcelona have been one of the best teams right now in the world. So I don't think that we should be changing the formula. Maybe by next season, we can introduce another La Masia player. Why not? Maybe let go of Lewandowski and maybe find a striker within La Masia Academy. Or maybe let go of de Jong and bring in another great midfielder talent. That is how you incorporate more La Masia players, is by letting go of what you don't use anymore and use La Masia to filter in those little sections. But you can't just say, okay, our squad is being overused, let's just bring in 6 Masia kids right now. It doesn't work like that. Moving on towards the next question, and that is coming from, bro, I still don't know how to pronounce your name to this day, but I'm gonna just say Sali or Savali. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm sorry, bro. You're my friend. I know you. I've been knowing you for a long time, but it just kind of sucks that I don't know how to pronounce your name. But yeah, thank you, bro, for always watching my videos and always commenting. But yeah, your question is, can we bring Messi for 2 months and kick out Fati? Bro, nah, it's not gonna happen, dude. Again, kick out Fati? No, it's not gonna happen. Also, Fati doesn't even want to leave. He's so firm on staying that even with his entourage and the coach and the president saying that you should leave because you freaking suck, Ansu Fati says no, I'm putting my foot on the ground and I'm gonna stay. So it's not gonna happen. It's too fantasy. That's it. I know for a fact, like, your question is not even, you didn't even take your own question seriously. But no, it's gonna happen. I hope Messi returns to Barcelona after his little era with Inter Miami is over for maybe about 6 months. Just a small little time frame. That'd be nice. But as of right now, I would just say no. And now moving on towards the last question coming from Darkness PG3D. He has asked, if we were to have 100 million right now for this squad, who would you sign? I would say Jokeres for 65 million euros and then maybe use that other to 45 million euros on a winger, right? And I would just say maybe Nico Williams. I believe that that is probably the most cost-effective thing that Barcelona could do in this summer. If we were to have 100 million euros, Jokeres for 65, Nico Williams for 45. And yes, I know that Nico Williams cost 65 million euros, which is the reason why we heard so many rumors and reports about last summer where Barcelona offered 65. Of course, Barcelona can always find that extra 20 million euros somewhere because of how much money Barcelona have been generating over the past few months. So now let's move on towards the big conversation. It says here, according to Relevo, that Ronald Araujo new release clause is 65 million euros and it will be valid for summer 2025. This clause will go up to 80 million euros starting from January 2026. And these are going to be the things that have been agreed upon between Deco and Araujo: a high salary and postponement of a potential exit. Okay, so first things first. I cannot believe that his release clause is going to be 65 million euros in this upcoming summer. I wish it could have been more. I know that we can't just demand and just say 100 million euros for Araujo, right? It just seems too unrealistic. But bro, I did not know that in this contract renewal, his release clause is going to be so cheap in this upcoming summer. I really do feel like, and it hurts to say this, but I really do feel like Araujo is going to be leaving in this summer. And I say that because release clause is just too low, and it's just a way for Joan Laporta and Barcelona to say, okay, Araujo, we know that you want to leave, but at the very least, do us a favor. Please sign this contract renewal. We'll have a very realistic release clause for you to go wherever you do want, because we do not want to let you go in this upcoming summer without a renewal and let you go for 30 million euros or 20 million euros, because that was going to be the routes that Barcelona were going to take if they did not sign a contract renewal. And so Laporta just said, look, at the very least, just sign this. We won't put you at a release clause of 100 million euros or 90 million euros. We'll have you at 65, where many clubs can bid for you and it will be accessible. And at the same time, you're going to be having a salary that will increase, and whatever club does come next, whether it's Juventus, whether it's Manchester United, they're going to have to match that salary increase, which is probably going to be 12, 13, 14 million euros a season. And so that's it. That's what Araujo was doing in the past week, was not to stay at Barcelona for the next 5 to 6 seasons. It was to renew for the sake of Barcelona now wanting to let Araujo go for cheap. Barcelona wanted the money, and that's really sad to see. I mean, like, bro, we can fast forward 5 months from now and hear that Araujo wants to stay no matter what. But bro, really? Like, you signed a contract renewal and your release clause is 65? I really do think that this is just for him to go off easy to a different club, whether it's United, Juventus, City, Madrid, no, I'm joking, Bayern Munich, wherever. And so kind of sucks, right? It sucks because now we have to think about what is going to be the future of Barcelona's defense. We know it's Kubarsi. We know it's Jules Koundé. We know it's Alejandro Balde. There's a missing spot there. Is it Christensen? Is it Nico Martinez? Is it Jonathan Tah? Or is Barcelona going to be looking for like a all-timer center back out out there in the world of football is maybe Bastoni. Hansi Flick is a coach that wants tall, athletic center backs. He does not want very short center backs who cannot really do those 1v1 defensive duels. Hence the reason why Hansi Flick is not a big fan of Eric Garcia, right? Kubarsi is an exception because he's so exceptional in passing the ball from the back. Very reliable. That is the only exception. But Hansi Flick wants tall, athletic center backs, which is the reason why Bastoni comes into my mind. Or we just go for Jonathan Tah and that's it. Done. Jonathan Tah, Inigo Martinez, Christensen within those positions, with Kubarsi also being there here and there. I guess that's okay. That's fine with me. But bro, like, here's one thing I would say. I do think that if Barcelona gain 65 million euros in this upcoming summer, that is a huge win low key. And I say that because Barcelona would outright to get the 65 million euros. It's not going to be paid in installments because it's a new contract. It's going to get paid outright. And so it's going to be a straight cash injection of 65 million euros. I think that's a win because that is going to allow for Barcelona to move a lot in the transfer market. Because if Araujo leaves for 65, we also have the option of Frankie de Jong moving for maybe 45 or 50 million euros. That's 105 to 115 million euros that Barcelona can spend, since now we are in the 1-1 rule. Barcelona have the possibility of maybe signing a real-time big player in this summer. We just don't know who it's going to be. That's going to be for like a whole other different conversation, but injecting 65 million euros straight into this club is a huge win. So I don't think that this is all just pure negativity. At least Araujo is going to stay with us for the next 6 months because we do need him for the next 6 months. I do think that if we can go for the Champions League and La Liga after winning the Spanish Super Cup and then he leaves, it's worth it. It's worth it because now we can restart and just see, okay, where do we go from here? Speaking about center backs, obviously we're talking about Michael Faye. I honestly think that Michael Faye has no future at Barcelona anymore because after what I have seen from him at his current club, he has not been doing the best. And so if Michael Faye gets sold for, let's just say 30 million euros, we get 3% of that. It's fine. Just let him go. It says here, according to ever reliable Fabrizio Romano, that Bayer Leverkusen made contacts with Michael Faye, on whom Barcelona have 30% sell on clause as one of the 3 candidates center back positions. It all depends on Rennes' position. There you have it, right? I do think that Barcelona are going to be injecting even more income very soon with Michael Faye going somewhere else. We're going to be losing 2 very huge center backs, Michael Faye and Araujo, but we have to plan for the future. We have to be prepared. We have to know what's going to happen with Christensen. We have to know, can we solidify the deal of Jonathan Tah? Because if not, all of this is going to be a huge mess. And now moving on towards the last conversation, which is going to be about Frankie de Jong. It says here, according to 21 Morty, that Frankie de Jong's recent games have impressed Hansi Flick. The player aims to become a starter. So this is good news to hear that Frankie de Jong wants to impress at Barcelona. But I don't think that no matter what happens, bro, no matter what happens, if he scores 5 goals in the next game and we win the Champions League and he scores the goal winner in the Champions League final or something like that, no matter what, Frankie de Jong is going to leave. Because Hansi Flick has shown time and time again this season that he really does rely on Gavi, Olmo, Casado, and Bernat. Only those. Nobody else. And he also chooses Fermin Lopez to play in positions here and there, and it's done, bro. Like, it's done. Frankie de Jong, even though I know that he is a great player, his time at Barcelona is done. There are so many reasons why Barcelona should let go of Frankie because of financial reasons, sporting reasons, and I don't want Bernal and Casado to have their minutes harmed because Frankie de Jong is still here. Even if you say Frankie de Jong plays as a number 10, I mean, like, that's also a problem. Why is he being played as a number 10 and not as a CDM? It's because Hansi Flick does not trust him. And so if he gets played as a 10, bro, like, he also gets defeated there. The player that comes up first is Daniel Olmo. If Olmo's injured, is Gavi. If Gavi is injured, it's Fermin Lopez. Sometimes we see Pablo Torre, and then comes Frankie de Jong, right? And he gets paid 90 million euros a season. Cancelled, unsubscribe, and delete. Like, delete, done. I would be happy to see Frankie de Jong try for the next 5 to 6 games. I want to see that because Barcelona need to win. Everybody needs to try, right? So I'm glad that he's trying to impress Hansi Flick, like, as you should, but it doesn't mean that this also means you have continuity for the next season. Not a chance. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.